What's up guys, how y'all doing? I go by the name of By Design, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be checking out Hana's newest music video, which is called Nonstop. So this is music video number 7 and song number 8 that we have gotten so far by them. I still haven't heard anything about an album being announced, because like honestly, as of right now, you could make like at least by K-pop standards, full album out of all the songs. Are they actually going to wait until they have a full like 12 or 13 track album ready and then release the thing, right? Again, Hana as of right now have been very versatile when it comes to their concepts, when it comes to their style, when it comes to the productions. Again, personally, a lot of them didn't really hit for me. My Body definitely has been my favorite so far. It is a really outstanding production to me. And then again, Drop as their debut was really fire as well. So as always, I haven't seen any teasers, trailers, spoilers or whatever when it comes to this release. But guys, before we jump into the music video, if you like the vibes over here, perchance, please consider subscribing to the channel. Every comment, every like, every subscription by you guys is highly appreciated. But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into Nonstop and see what it is.
Didn't think it was really gonna happen. Get on multi to the winner.
Okay, so we're going a lot harder. Oh, that's a rhyme choreo. What are we trying to do sound-wise here? We got Jisoo rapping, okay. Well, there are elements of drill in this, like faintly. Otherwise, just basically just trying to run along with the beat. Yeah, and then we're going again to the like more drill inspired section.
Won't stop, keep going. We drop since poppin'. When you're sleeping, what touch studio ni leave Italy, making history. Asana yoji, got a taxi without my key. I was there, who gets no tag? She said that me that I call on you man. I got it, yes, I got it, I got the yatsu, I suck it, say. Now you got to hot test, Hana maju hot test. Am I done a top test? Hot test, I got this. I'm a dinosaur, Brachiosaurus to make tiny tigers stomp. We gotta control, so what you waiting for? I got society done and now you're gonna microphone. I didn't think it was really gonna happen. Get a multi to the winner. Head a statue more kids eat that, but the captain need day turn up. Nihon juga sawaga shiwa, there was like Fuzhana. There was like Fuzhana.
What is happening?
Like Red Hana. Bigger than Fuji, bigger than Fuji, bigger than Fuji, bigger than Fuji. But she don't know big dream. Look at my outfit. Mitch at the guy, juke on the stage, and what are you yachting? Why did you naked or eat and I mean, look at my mommy.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so first impressions. Right, let's just start off with the song itself first. So like I said, it is a lot heavier than kind of like all of the other releases that we have been gotten by them so far. I think the closest to this level was probably Drop, but again, Drop wasn't committing as hard to a like very hip-hop inspired sound like this one, right? And I think what really threw me off here was the fact that I was again constantly trying to search for like that type of genre that we were doing, right? Again, there were a lot of elements of drill in here that like came in at certain spots, right? And you were like able to make out a specific drum pattern and a specific bass progression that was hinting at that sound, right? But I think other than that, it was a pretty neutral beat. So the girls were able to find their own flow on that type of beat, again giving them the opportunity to sound more like themselves, more unique, right? Instead of being forced to rap on a beat with a flow that they're maybe not used to or that they're maybe not comfortable with, right? But again, I think my brain trying to label whatever this production was like standing in the way of things, because again, I wasn't really enjoying this, because I was again trying to constantly figure out what the production is, right? So I definitely have to go back and check this out a couple more times now that I heard it once, and I can kind of like understand that this is not going for a specific genre other than giving the girls a medium to perform on, right? Because for example, the last song that we've gotten was My Body, right? A song that had a very clear concept, a very clear style of production, and other songs like Blue Jeans, for example, right? That was going for a very specific kind of concept that they were kind of trying to force on the girls, because again, I talked about it in my Blue Jeans reaction. It felt really forced for some of the girls to perform on this type of track. And I think they were able with, again, My Body, find a style that kind of suited everyone. And now this is kind of like more of a free-form format, right? Where again, you give them a very kind of almost neutral beat that isn't really committing to any like real style of kind of hip-hop, right? Because again, there's just stuff in there, just elements in there that remind you of maybe certain styles or even certain artists. Like there were a couple of flows in here specifically that like triggered some in the back of my brain where I was like, I definitely heard this before. So I kind of don't want to rate the song as of right now, as I usually do, right? I usually rate the song from like 1 to 10, right? But again, I think on a first listen, I was too distracted with trying to figure out what it is. And I think after the song ended, I kind of, again, came to understand that this was not going for a specific genre. This was basically just giving the girls an outlet to do whatever they want to do with a, again, harder hip-hop beat type concept, right? I mean, what I will say though, all of them definitely sounded very unique. Like you could really tell them apart from each other, which is something that I really enjoyed. And honestly, I think from the music video you could tell that they had fun with this. Like all the individual shots, all the group shots, like every time they were on camera, like you could tell they like really wanted to do this, man. And also I think they're just really good at just expressing themselves, right? I mean, while we're on the music video, the music video itself was really random. I don't think there was any type of like concept or storyline behind it. But again, I feel like if I were to go back and watch it a couple more times now, again, with the mindset of it is just a medium, right, to present oneself, is probably gonna make more sense to me, because again, I feel like all of them had probably very individual sets to again represent themselves, and that was probably the overall concept, right? Just showing off their uniqueness. But yeah, it was a lot on a first listen and on a first watch, actually. Again, this is one of those videos and one of the songs that you definitely have to run back a couple more times. But again, as always, this is something very new from the group. This is something very exciting from the group. And as always, man, I can't wait for the next one. Like, really. But yeah, guys, I think I've been talking too much, so I'm gonna leave it here. If you liked the video, by chance, please make sure to like the video. If you like the vibes over here, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can do so over here. By the way, I would really appreciate it. And I hope to catch you guys on the next one, right? Bye.